You know, I'm all about titles. I really do most of the secretarial work gets done by me. I file, I send emails, that's what I do. Hello, Oath Keepers.
Hello!
And when I say that, you know I'm talking to all of you patriots out there, liberty lovers, whether you're a member of our organization or not, you're with us in spirit, I know you are in heart, and that's what this is all about. I look out around this group today, and I know that we're winning. You know we're winning. We are winning, and it's because of people like Keith Plow, like Joe Matza, Panama City.
Torch!
Yeah, and like Bobby Lago. Bobby's so quiet and shy and reserved. I look around this room and people like Bruce and Janet Smith and Lance Fate, people that love liberty and will not tolerate or put up with anything less. Remember, I think it was the Declaration of Independence. Remember the phrase, consent of the governed? Consent of, do you consent to this crap?
No!
We do not consent. And that's what we're saying here today. We do not consent. The reason we're winning is because of the people. And what we're doing right is what we're doing today. We are working through the Constitution to protect our constitutional rights. We're not winning because a bunch of guys running around shaking guns and making threats to politicians out there. That's not what we're about. Oath Keepers is not an organization that's about a violence in any way, shape, fashion, or form. We're not a militia. We are a constitutional organization. Most of us are military or law enforcement, former and current serving firefighters. But I don't want to leave out the citizen associate members. A lot of our chapter leaders around the state never served in uniform, but they are as passionate about our Constitution and our mission as the rest of us. I met a lot of people already today that are Oath Keepers that I'd never met before. And I look around at a lot of the hats out here and I see some genuine American heroes that fought for the rights that we're all trying to protect. And the veterans, we all have a special bond, I think, because we know that no matter what you did as a veteran, at some time in your life you wrote a check for an amount, up to and including your life, if that's what it takes, to the American people. So there is that special bond. I want to talk a little bit about the oath and what that means, because when I first heard about this, actually the first time I heard about it, I think Terry Trossman and I were up in Washington, D.C., hanging out with a million or two of our closest friends, and somebody put one of these little push cards in my hand about Oath Keepers. And I'd heard a little bit, but I hadn't looked into it at all. A couple of weeks later, I started looking through all of this stuff, and the more I read, the more I realized this was something that I could focus on. I didn't have to be scattered in my mission. I could focus on this mission, which is all about the Constitution, protecting and defending the Constitution. That's it. We are not a partisan organization. We're not a political organization other than the Constitution. We have people from every race, every creed, every color, every religious ethnicity, every political party that are Oath Keepers. So when people tell you something, be sure that you're listening to someone that knows the facts. We have expanded our mission recently toward something called our Civilization Preservation Team concept. And I'm not going to get into it, don't have time to get into it today. But basically we are taking the things that we've learned, the skills that we've learned and have shared with each other. We are taking that out into our community. It's more of an expanded neighborhood watch, if you want to look at it, an expanded neighborhood watch program, taking our skills into the community, because if things get bad, and they will get bad, if things get bad and you're out there the Lone Ranger and you've got all the food, all the water, all the bullets, all the guns and all that stuff, you'll be dead in a week. if your neighbors around you are not part of that, if they don't know what you're about and are part of it. Back to the oath for a minute. What is an oath? When you think about an oath, the best way I can explain it, it's a sacred vow. A lot of you have taken not only oaths to the Constitution, but you've taken vows in your lives, have you not? An oath is a sacred vow taken before God to do what you say you are doing. Your word is your bond. When you take that oath, there are a lot of very elaborate definitions, but I think that's a pretty good one. It's a solemn vow. It's a solemn thing that you do when you take that oath. And I'm going to give you all an opportunity. I know a lot of you guys, if not most everyone in this room, has taken an oath at one time in their lives. Either in the military, when you joined the maybe law enforcement, when you became a public official. Do you know everyone that works in this building swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all public? We've got to remind them of that, don't we? That's right. Every day. Do you know that every employee, every public employee, state, federal, county, local, city, they all swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution? Next time you go in the driver's license bureau to renew your driver's license or whatever it is, and you're getting a ration of you know what from somebody, just remind them of the oath that they swore to protect and defend the Constitution. If you see something being done that's not constitutional, remind those people that they swore that oath. And you know what? Most of them will say, I didn't swear no oath. They will. They'll tell you that. What are you talking about? I didn't take an oath. You know why they do that? When they're hired on, they don't stand up and hold up their hand and take an oath like that. It's in a stack of hiring papers. Sign these things and you go to work on Monday, okay? And they sign that. That's their oath. That's something I'd like to see changed. I'd like to see every employee stand up and swear an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. That's what I'd like to see. It might be a minor thing, it might be a major thing, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. Now, a lot of you guys took that oath. Some of you maybe never served in uniform, and you think, I never got a chance to take an oath. But you know what? If you're a voter or a registered voter in the state of Florida, you swore an oath. It's on your voter ID registration. You swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. So I know when I say you're all oath keepers, you're all oath keepers. We like to close a lot of our get-togethers with oath keepers with an opportunity to reaffirm that oath. And whether you're taking an oath for the first time or whether you'd like to reaffirm that oath, I'd like to give you a chance right now to stand up with me and reaffirm your oath to the Constitution. And if you'll repeat after me and fill in your name. I, Mike Austell, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, pledging my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor. So help me God. Thank you, Oath Keepers. Go ahead and have your seat. It's a distinct pleasure of mine to introduce the next speaker. He's someone that I've had the pleasure of working with on a few occasions. And until you've sat down with a group of sheriffs and listened to this man talk, you just really haven't experienced, on a personal level. Someone who's been fighting this fight for his whole career. Most of you know him. But it's my pleasure now to introduce Sheriff Richard Mack.